With the new Pokemon ZA coming out, and Game Freak adding many, I say, questionable Mega Evolutions, my collection was really due for an update. So, this is basically what I'm doing in the background while I yap your ear off. My Pokemon collection has like a little twist to it. I collect the different Pokemon, but when I first started collecting, I was pretty new to Pokemon. I never really played the games. I know I maybe took 5 minutes to play Pokemon Diamond back then. I never grew up with them. I was more like a Super Mario kid, I guess. So I didn't had that connection. I first started like enjoying Pokemon because of Mystery Dungeon. I loved that you could play the little Pokemon, and it was just the game really hooked me in a way, so I got kind of into it, and my friends are all in love with Pokemon, so yeah, there's that. And I don't know, I just started collecting someday, and my collection, because I was pretty new, has like the different evolutions in them. As example, I put Pichu directly next to Pikachu, even though Pichu is added to the game in Generation 2 and is supposed to be in Generation 2 in the National Pokédex, but I wanted have Pichu in the evolution spot, and it would be at the place where Pikachu is, so I put him there. And that's like with everyone. Now with the new Mega Evolutions and the Gigantamax versions, I kind of had to push everything in my binder around to make room for them. So, yeah. I also put in the different versions sometimes, like Alolan Geodude or Alolan Graveler. But it really depended on how many versions there were, how possible it is to get them. I was looking up cards, if they even existed as cards, if they knew, and stuff like that. So I'm kind of cleaning up my whole binder. I'm pulling out the cards that I have to push around. I had the Pokédex on like my phone, so I kind of checked that box, so I didn't get confused in a way, and put like little stick notes or put like little paper pieces in the spots where this Pokemon would be put. In the spots where no Pokemon is supposed to be, I put energy cards, because I thought it was like aesthetically pleasing to have that little card there in the empty spot. And I thought maybe better leave a spot and make it look pretty before I kind of lose where I'm going. And also, if I ever get like a pre-card I don't wanna put aside, I can just put it there if I don't want to exchange the Pokemon itself. It was kind of crazy to go through and look at every Pokemon again and again and again. And I don't know, it's kind of fun to learn that way the different Pokemon. I also figured out that I have some shinies in my collection. I forgot about them, honestly. I had put them aside or had, I don't know, just had them laying in my box, which was labeled like or later or something, and then I forgot about them, or I had them in my collection, and because it was like I knew I had to push around things with the new game, and I was kind of not looking forward to that. I don't know, I just looked at it, didn't look at it sometimes. A cool thing I got once was like Ditto. I had Ditto from the Pokemon Go set, and the cool thing about the Pokemon Go set was it was kind of hidden. You had to pull up the foil. So I did the same with my binder. I had back then pulled up the foil and had covered my Ditto with it. Kind of put the Ditto in there and then I folded over it. It was kind of fun because when people looked at my collection, they were like, "Oh, isn't that where Ditto supposed to be?" And then I could like express them in a way. I think it was kind of smart. I don't know. With Eevee, I wanted every evolution on that you can look at it and see everyone. And that's kind of what I did. I put Ditto on the first spot because he's like next to Eevee in the Pokédex, and two cute Eevee cards that I really loved from because the artwork is really pretty. And then I kind of filled the spots with the different evolutions, so you can see every evolution if you just open the page. Also, a thing that kind of was different in my collection is the different past versions, future versions of the Pokemon will assign to the Pokemon they are supposed to be. There was also a kind of the thing that annoyed me a bit, because in Scarlet and Violet, suddenly there were these versions, this future and past versions, and even though it's only like 10 or something, it was kind of annoying to push around my whole collection just for that. So I guess that's also why I pushed it so far behind, and now I have a real reason to put it on because of the mega evolutions, and not just because of 10 versions of a future version and the past version of a Pokemon. But I still kind of think it's like, I know it is good because of the concept of the game or whatever, but I still think kind of why. I think that also was kind of hard with these versions, was to figure out who or where which Pokemon belongs. Because I only had looked at the future versions and the past versions briefly, and I was like, okay, I know where they belong. I know which Pokemon that's supposed to be, but I still was kind of annoyed because if I put in the cards in my Pokédex, it won't be there, or it has its own number, and when you click on it, you don't see which Pokemon it belongs to, which number the Pokemon has that it belongs to, and then it was kind of annoying because then I had to look up like which Pokemon belongs to which number is it. Okay, I put it aside there. It was just breaking my flow a bit. I think that was what annoyed me the most, because I was in such a flow that I was annoyed that I had to look it up, basically.